Let's hand over to 9-time Speight's Coast to Coast champion Steve Gurney at the start of the longest day multi-sport world championships on Kumara Beach on the west coast of New Zealand.
It's the world champs, the 30th anniversary Speight's Coast to Coast, and here we are, the big guns are out today. This is the longest day race. There's a lot of athletes here, there's Europeans, a lot of Kiwis. It's going to be tough.
The 2012 Speight's Coast to Coast Multi-Sport World Championship has attracted a large European contingent, including recently crowned adventure racing world champions from France, Miriam Mimi Guillot and Jackie Boisset. However, it's this couple who are the top billing to take out the titles today. Richard and Alina Usher from Nelson, New Zealand. Alina won the Weather Bomb year 2010 and Richard has 4 coast-to-coast world titles to his name.
Yeah, feeling like normal for the start of the race, a little bit of apprehension, but looks like it's going to be a good day, no rain, probably a little bit cool, but yeah, we'll see how things are standing in 11 or so hours.
Andy Blow won the UK Coast to Coast and is here for the event that first inspired him years back when he saw it on television.
Feel as good as I could hope to do it on the start line, so no excuses.
Under the cloak of the pre-dawn darkness are the world's best multi-sporters, like Australia's Anaconda winning Grant Suckling, 2-time Speight's Coast to Coast runner-up Dougal Allen, former winner Fleur Pawsey, and many more who we will introduce as they cross the Great Divide in the 243-kilometre World Championship, the longest day.
Yeah, took all my granddad's Viagra this morning. Going hard all the way. Should be good.
The race is now in the hands of starter and race director Robin Judkins.
4,
Wait for
3,
it.
2,
Wait for
1.
it. Oh.
There are so many different race strategies to be tested, but for now, a 3-kilometre dash to the bikes. A slow transition here in the dark can cost a place in the main front bunch and hopes of a top position. Let's see how the leaders go. The pace must be smoking hot as there's a small bunch formed with the field strung out behind. In the lead, James Cobra, Braden Curry, Richard Usher, Jeremy McKenzie, Carl Bevins, Dougal Allen and Dan Moore, a 100% New Zealand lineup. The UK's Andy Blow is next, but in no man's land between bunches, with Frenchman Jackie Boisset and Wanaka's Gavin Mason rounding out the top 10 men. There are small splinter groups everywhere. Later in the day, some will be paying the price for pushing too hard, too soon. Top Brazilian multi-sporter Camila Nicolau and local Tanya Maitland are one bunch back from the top 4 women. 90 seconds up the road is the heart of the women's race, with France's Mimi Guillot, Christchurch's Fleur Pawsey and Finland-born Alina Usher. Somewhere up there in the dark is Kiwi Rachel Cashin of Taumarunui, twice third in this race. Jackie Boisset and Andy Blow have 2 minutes to bridge to the leaders and will be working to get their pack working together. Surprisingly, last year's 2-day winner and superb runner James Cobra must have had a dreadful transition as he trails in the second group. We are up with the race leaders, and in there is the likely champion of 2012. There's Braden Curry, brother of last year's third place getter Glenn, and an excellent runner in his own right. There's Dougal Allen, second in 2011 and 2010, but the overwhelming favourite is 4-time winner Richard Usher. They're riding like a well-oiled pursuit team, with Usher pushing the pace along, possibly to take the sting out of the younger legs of Curry and Cobra, who are expected to be quicker on the run. Curry is setting the pace on a small incline. He's doing enough to break up the bunch. As the leaders roll past the historic Jackson's pub, famous for venison pies, we're down to just 4 leaders, Usher, Allen, Curry and Jeremy McKenzie. It's unlikely that we'll have another break, as these guys will be thinking about maximising the gains on those they've left behind. Wanaka's Dougal Allen leads in from Mackenzie, Curry and Usher. Braden Curry's lightning transition sees him onto the mountain run first. Usher will be keeping an eye on this serious threat and deciding whether to let him go or give chase. Usher and Mackenzie are next, then Dougal Allen. At 7 a.m. Saturday, racing continues for two-day competitors. There's a 15-kilometre cycle to here, Mount White Bridge, for the 67-kilometre whitewater kayak down the mighty Waimakariri, which I must add is very low this year. Amongst the hundreds of kayakers is Nilu Mimon, a legally blind multisporter who will paddle with the help of David Maitland in a double kayak. Thanks to Go Bandit sports cameras, we'll be following her progress. Linda Paulson, mother of two from Christchurch, is off. She'll be utilising all that winter training from the Brass Monkey Kayak Series. Two-day kayakers fill the top section of the Waimakariri. It's a great day for a 67-kilometre jaunt. Competitors have had 7 kilometres of straightforward kayaking of braids before reaching the infamous Rock Garden Rapids. This is the first major challenge and consists of a series of rocky rapids spread over a couple of kilometres. In a low flow like this year, the rocks are exposed, making for a tricky technical route through the rapids, and many of the smaller rocks can cause a problem, even from a glancing blow. As a general rule, when kayaking through the Rock Garden Rapid, the right-hand side of the main channel will be a good option. And always remember, you should be looking ahead to find the route, and just don't follow the tail of the kayak in front, who may be taking a bad line. Nilusha Mimon gets her first decent dose of rapids and seems to manage them well. Good work to the man up front too. The two-day kayakers are just starting to hit the rapids in the Waimakariri. It's a good warm-up for what's coming up in the gorge. As always, the two-day individuals left Klondike before the teams, but already the top team kayakers are coming through. Usually there's one quick line down a rapid, and in this case it's obvious as they snake down the white water. Robert Poporari of the Cook Islands takes a different line, and oops, he hits a rock. His brace strokes failed him, and he's in for an early morning dip. Though being fed by snow, the Waimak doesn't get much warmer, whatever the time of day. As you can see, there is a huge variety of kayaks on the river. When choosing a kayak for the Speight's Coast to Coast, make sure you can handle it in Grade 2 white water. Otherwise, you'll spend your time trying to keep the kayak upright. Energy you could have been using to make a more stable kayak go quicker. Nilu Mimon is finding the action of the river a bit cool and takes on another layer of clothing. Three kilometres on from transition, Curry leads into the riverbed at Deception Footbridge. It's all rock, river crossings and car-sized boulders for the next 3 hours over Goat Pass to Klondike. The gap to the three chasers is 30 seconds, with Curry out front and hoping to make some impact before the kayak. The young guns will be hoping to stick on Usher's tail, as his experience will cut the shortest route up to Goat Pass. James Cobra is now off the bike and into his element. 4 minutes off the lead though. The 2011 two-day winner is a former New Zealand representative runner and has been picked by Usher as one of his major threats. Andy Blow and Jackie Boisset are next, with top Australian Grant Suckling having his work cut out now, 6 minutes off the lead. Former champions Fleur Pawsey and Alina Usher are setting the pace in the women's race. Last year's winner Sophie Hart isn't racing in 2012. Adventure racer Mimi Guillot is transitioning well to multisport. She's now in third, with the leaders in view. Rachel Cashin is next, and expect her to come blazing through the field on the kayak leg. Sia Svensson, formerly from Denmark, and Camila Nicolau from Brazil will also be in the hunt for the podium. It's no beeline up the Deception River, more of a huge zigzag, with short cuts through the bush and ever-changing ground underfoot. Go in unprepared and your run will fall to pieces. We catch a glimpse of Braden Curry leading with Usher, Mackenzie and Allen trailing just a few hundred metres back, and James Cobra on fire now joining their party. We'll get a time split at Boulders, which marks an hour into the run. Let's start the clock. It's going to be a few minutes. They are in view. We have the gap locked in at 3 minutes. In 40 minutes up at the pass, we'll take another split and we'll see what's unfolding at the front. Christchurch-based Carl Bevan is fifth. It's not his best day as he's led the run in the past. Then we have Dan Moore and JJ Wilson. The internationals are together with Jackie Boissé ahead of Andy Blow and Grant Suckling. Alina Usher has broken away from Pawsey and Guillot. However, the race for second is even closer with that pair inseparable.
Hey, this is going to be a really close race. There's a bunch of four chasing down Braden Curry, and there is the helicopter filming the chasing bunch. They're hunting him down.
Braden Curry is continuing to dictate the pace from the front as he passes Goat Pass Hut and summits onto the highest point of the race. But now, a major change. James Cobra has parted company with Usher's group and is now just 2 minutes 30 back, with about an hour's running left to Klondike Corner. Usher's over the pass, 3 minutes behind Curry. He's lifted the pace to cover the two speedsters and minimise the damage before the river kayak. As we so often see in this great event, the top three are running solo, with Allen and Mackenzie holding fourth and fifth. Allen had serious hopes of challenging for this race. He'll be gutted with how this run is playing out. Let's hope he pulls it together soon. Bevans and Moore are next. Heading the internationals over Goat Pass in the Speight's coast-to-coast longest day, Jackie Boissé is 24 minutes behind race leader Curry. Grant Suckling is another 10 minutes down, and Andy Blow is a full 45 minutes behind the speedy Kiwi.
I think Richard's playing his race calm. He knows it's a really long race, he's got the experience, and he knows that the river on the Waimak, the pedal's really low, and I think the whole race is actually going to happen after the run. It's the second half of the race where the lead's going to change, and I think the wily Richard Usher will come through.
Women's leader Alina Usher continues to push hard. She crosses the pass, running on the boardwalk that protects the precious alpine flora from damage. It's 10 past 10, but there's no time for a morning tea break here. Now this is impressive. Mimi Guillot has moved into second place, a stunning effort that shows how well her adventure racing form is holding in the faster-paced arena of multisport. Keeping in touch is former coast champion Fleur Pawsey. In fourth place, Rachel Cashin is holding the gap. That could see the tough Tamaranui athlete in striking distance of both Pawsey and Guillot come the kayak.
Nice one, go on.
Braden Curry has confirmed Usher's forecast with a sensational run. He's taking the race to the reigning champion, just as he has to. No time to stop to put the gear on in transition. It all happens on the move as Curry zips through Klondike. Usher is a better paddler, so Curry has to try and build a lead before the water. Usher caught Cobra in the Minga Valley, but the Lower Hutt builder put in another spurt and races into Klondike just 2 minutes behind Curry. 5 hours down, 6.5 to go.
James, mate, you're doing awesome, buddy.
Usher is 3 minutes behind. On past performance, that should have him vying for the race lead on the Waimakariri. That's barring any incident, of course, like a flat tyre or holing his kayak, or perhaps a challenge from this guy, Dougal Allen of Wanaka. Allen has been second to Usher 3 times in the last few years. He's been focusing hard on his kayaking, so Usher better keep an eye over his shoulder. Mackenzie and Bevins are next in, with Jackie Boissé still leading the internationals. We're chasing the leaders down to the kayak transition at Mount White Bridge. Competitors are riding the rolling 15 kilometres into a fresh headwind, and that's sure to strengthen into the afternoon. Braden Curry still heads the race.